Today I have Isaiah. His one of the growth specialists at client acquisition at IO. I think you're the only one who I've seen write notes that you wanted to be the best growth specialist. I saw when you're the training you're creating, and I was like, yeah, no wonder you've become as good as you have because you actually had set it as a goal, which is pretty
100%.
crazy. What where did you get the thought of starting to write down your goals every day?
Well, I mean, I've been writing goals down since I was like back in middle school, to be honest, because I've been very
Wow.
goal oriented my whole life, like with different things that I was trying to do. Before business, it was professional soccer, so that was the goal, and it was written down like the ladder I had to climb to get there, all the different levels, the teams, the coaches I had to meet. It was all just like that. So it's kind of the best way for me to like gain clarity with what I want. So I just write it down.
Mhm.
So that's where
Nice.
that came from. But yeah, it's just been a practice that I've always done, and I've heard the little. I think it was like a science like some test they had where it was like if you
Mhm.
write down your goal, you're almost like I forget it's like 50% more likely to achieve it just because you wrote it down or something. So I don't
Yeah.
know if it's true or not, but I'm gonna have it work in my favor.
Yeah, I think it's worked, right? Yeah. So for those who are watching, so next in February we're launching a new product called growthspecialist.io, and the whole goal of that product or program is to be helping anyone who's maybe you're running your own business, but maybe you're not necessarily, you haven't really dialed it in and you're not really you haven't scaled, or maybe you're just you've been consuming content, either mine, maybe other people who are also pushing online service business, but you don't really know what you should start by focusing on. What is the scale? How should you monetize that scale? I'm creating this growth specialist.io to tool people with the scale that they need to start, earning their first 5, 10 grand a month. Now, it's not necessarily about the money, but it is about the money, but it's mostly about the ability to be able to achieve a certain level of freedom, whether that be time freedom, location freedom, and have a clear roadmap and a clear scale that you can actually scale and maybe potentially turn into a business, right? And I thought that it would only be right if I actually got my GSs, my growth specialists who are killing it on the team, and have chats with them and share their journey so you guys can be able to see what's possible, right? Because I could easily sit here and just talk about becoming a growth specialist, but I'm not. I mean, I guess I am technically a growth specialist, but I'm not in the trenches every day. So it's only right I get people who are actually doing the work, share their story, not just the story of being a GS, but just their life story and how they got to become a growth specialist for the company. So yeah, Isaiah, you want to talk about where you're from, how old you are,
Yeah, for sure.
and
So,
yeah.
yeah, so born and raised in Canada, Vancouver, BC on the west side. I'm currently 21. My birthday's actually on Saturday, so I'll be 22 then.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, like born and raised here. Just I'm a local Canadian dude.
Let's go.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you drink beer or brewski?
Oh, had one bad experience with the beer, and now I definitely, I'd rather wine. I'd rather wine for sure.
I
Red or
like
white,
that. I like
doesn't
that.
matter. Red preferably on
Why?
a
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
love it. I love it. How did you, I want to just go over like, how did you, or should we just take it back? I was just about to ask you, like, how did you learn about client acquisition.io? But
Yeah.
I think it would be good to talk about your entrepreneurial journey. So if you can just take us back.
Yeah, well, it all like it's literally just like a stepping ladder that got to the point of client acquisition. So like if I go back, graduated high school, decided to I didn't go to school. My parents weren't really forcing me either. They basically just wanted me to chase and do something that I wanted to do because I've been like a dreamer
Mhm.
since I was a child. Like I said, like soccer was the previous game plan. I got a career-ending injury in senior year or grade 11. So then that was like off the table. So I was like, okay, what's the next big dream? So then it was business. So graduated, went into the world. I was like, holy, like the world, like it's all the results I'm going to get are based off the decisions I make. So I took it very seriously, me and my buddy, and got into MLM marketing, MLM like
Let's
type
go.
of business, right? Was trying to
Yeah.
sell Forex software. I met my like first mentor, I would say, and he was this like, I think I've talked to you before about him. He was like this dude from Uganda, and he was just like, oh, I don't even know how to describe him. Like, we did so much with him. We tried to start so many different businesses after the MLM. We would do door knocking, we were doing
Yeah.
cold calling. We were trying to start a financial like credit consolidation type of business. We were trying to sell these water machines. Like, we were trying to build brands. Like, it was just all these different things, right? And I was like probably 19 at the time, and he kind of sold us the dream. And he was telling us we were going to make all this money. And like, my parents were like, be careful of this dude. Like, he sounds like he's trying to manipulate you. And I'm like, mom, dad, like, it's fine. Like, I'm, I know
Yeah.
what I'm doing. I know what I want. So I'm going after all these things. And we go on all these different trips, pack everything up, and we go across Canada to try and sell and generate some money, and go to different neighborhoods that, needed the product that we were selling. So back then it was interesting, me and my buddy reflecting on it, we were like, the biggest problem we had was acquisition. We didn't know how to find like clients, customers that wanted our product. And even back
Yeah.
then, the biggest issue. Then even if we did scrape a few leads, I think we booked 40 appointments going door to door, which was honestly one of the scariest things ever. Like, at first, didn't know what I was saying.
Yeah.
You show up the door, and it's like, hey, and then, you forget the script, right? So it started
Yeah.
like very fearful of that. But then by the end of it, it was like, we were all pretty lethal. We were booking appointments. And to come to our sales presentation. But in the end, no one actually came, right? So like, it's like we
Wow.
had 40 calls booked, 0 show rate. So we didn't have sales process or anything in place. It was just like trying to get them in, no one showed up. So we realized acquisition problem. So after this problem, or after this kind of little business venture, we moved on to different things just because it didn't work. So anyways, that was pretty much the story with him. Nothing really worked, but the lessons, the character, the different trials that we had to go through, the determination to keep moving forward, even with like, I don't know, like, I moved out and everything went, like the complete worst direction it could have gone. I planned for like best case, middle case, like what would be ideal, and worst case, and it went farther than I could even have planned or imagined. So nothing worked out.
Yeah.
Had to go back and move back in with my parents, and I was pretty down for like quite a while. It was just one of the most wild experiences, because you put everything on the line and nothing works like multiple times, and it does something to you. But
Mhm.
I think that season was like the most necessary part of my whole entire journey, especially me being as young as I was because like it really made me realize like it ain't that easy. It ain't this get rich overnight type of thing. It ain't this like instant success that everyone's selling you online. It doesn't usually happen in a week, doesn't happen in a month. Like, it takes time. There's so many different things that different conclusions you have to come to realize, and then build upon that and build upon that to then get to the point of like, holy, I made my first 10K. Right. So I was down and out, but again, I'm happy about it because it built me to be like where I am now. So after that, started, looking into drop shipping. It was always on my mind, like organic drop shipping, ads, and all that kind of stuff. Tried to do it.
Yeah.
I wasn't consistent enough. I look back and I realized like I could have done it, but I wasn't as consistent enough. And I didn't really like the business model, to be honest. I'd rather interact and be with people than just selling this product and getting like a bunch of sales and everything. So I started looking into social media marketing, and basically took the skills of cold calling that I learned previously, door knocking, sales presentation, and I was like, hey, I have these. I could find someone on Fiverr to do, media buying. And so I found some dude from India. He was my guy. And then
Yeah.
with some real estate offer about me, I was going to help them get more people to buy houses. So I started cold calling them. I booked like one appointment, I think, but the guy didn't show up. I was getting people telling me to screw off. It wasn't working. So I went back to YouTube. Then I went to YouTube, found you, and I was like, there's no way. Like, this is absolutely insane. This guy's processes, his systems, his acquisition like campaigns. I was like trying to scrape Loom IDs. Like I was trying to find everything and anything to get into your guys' system. And
Yeah.
I was just taking notes, following everything, and trying to implement it as fast as I could. But I realized that there's so much more like infrastructure that I need that I do not have. There's so much more to this game that you provide that I don't have. So I was like, how do I get this? So actually never booked a call because I know you mentioned the price multiple times in your videos, and so I was like, okay, it's out of my price range right now.
Yeah.
So then I was like, how do I get access to it? And I remember one time I watched the interview you had with Hassan, and there was something about how he got access to a loom, and you said that if he was resourceful enough, that he was deserving of the loom or something. So then I was like, okay,
Yeah.
how can I finesse this a little bit? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna apply to work for him, see if I can get access to some of the stuff, some of the back end, applied to work, paid the thing, and then had the 2 week trial, passed the 2 week trial with you guys, and then I realized like this is actually insane. So stayed on board, and here we are. So that's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah. I remember you messaged me, right? But I get a lot of people message me every day. I mean, you're in my DM, so you know how many people are like, "Hey, let me come work for you. I'm motivated. I'm motivated this. I'm motivated that."
yeah,
But it's like 99% of people just want to work for me, just want to work so they can access shit. They don't actually generally want to work. They're like, "Oh, let me just maybe if I can maybe if I apply as a job, maybe he's gonna, maybe apply hire me and then I can get access to the sauce for free." But guys, like,
of course,
stop trying to be like you guys are not smart trying to do that. Like you're not gonna just access everything, my time and everything. And a lot of people don't understand this, but it's like working for me is probably the most valuable thing that you can do for yourself. So therefore, it's probably if most people think that just because they want to give you their time that it means that it's a valuable offering. It is not. Because what am I going to get from you working for me? When you start working for me, I have to pay attention to you. I have to train you. I have to keep you accountable. So all it means for you to come work for me just means you're giving me more work. So it's like there is no value. So it's like I actually don't like when people send me messages like, "Hey, come, let me come work for you." It's like, no, I don't want you to work for me. Just go do something else. Work for yourself, right? But there's something different about you because you were persistent. And when I just was looking for a growth specialist, you applied, you paid the fee to get into the trial, and for those who don't know, in order to become a growth specialist, there's actually a 2 week trial where you have to your work dictates if you're good or not, right? It's not like, oh, you're hired, therefore you deserve to be on the team. No, it's like you actually have to hit your quota in order to be
yeah,
on the team. And I get a lot of clients who are building growth teams and they're like, "Hey, Serge, how should I pick who stays?" I'm like, the right people will just hit the numbers and they'll
yeah,
hit the goals. And then that's how you know who you stay with, right? Um, but yeah, I remember, we got on a call and you told me about your story, and I was like, yo, it would be, you have a great story. I felt like you'd done a lot of stuff before that were hard. So this would just be another one of those, right? But once you joined the team, like what made you feel like you had an opportunity here? Like what? Because I guess we've how many growth specialists we've onboarded. What made you stick, and what made you see the potential? Because in the first few months, you weren't making much money, right? So, like, what made you see the potential? Like, what made you stick?
well, I mean, I think like watching your videos when I didn't know you, like the whole experience that someone goes through when they find your YouTube, like it's like this, like they don't know about you and then they become so warm so fast, and then you end up binge watching everything. So like I saw your progression, your story, like what you went through building client acquisition, and like the point it was at from the point it started was at like when I started watching, and I was like, hey, this guy's like building fast and he's building efficiently, and he's just got the sauce. Like so I was
Mhm.
like, I saw that and I was like, there's huge opportunity here. Like if I can become one of his main dudes, like this could be huge for me. Like learn literally everything that I need to be able to then go on and build my own thing one day, right?
Yeah.
Build a relationship, all the skills, the marketing. And so like, I mean, I think I chatted with Chanel as well, and I was like talking with her, especially in the interview, when she was like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna be great. Like, trust me, like it's not hard." Da, da, da. And I was like, because I already had experience doing cold DMs for the MLM and stuff, so I was like, okay, like cold calls, I'm good with dealing with people in cold scenarios. So
Yeah.
I was confident at the same time. I hated the job I was doing. To be honest,
Yeah.
as I'm thinking about it, I was used to clean houses, clean gutters, power wash driveways, and set up Christmas lights in the winter. And I hated it. I absolutely hated it because I knew that there was dudes like you online making the money you're making, and I'm out here making $21 an hour. So
Yeah.
that was a huge driving factor for me. And I wanted to like just be able to, get to that next level and honestly like work remotely, make my own schedule, and be valued in an actual like online business and learn those like applicable skills. So I think the vision you casted for client acquisition was something I was able to easily align myself with because it's very much with like in line with the goals that I have for my life long term. So like I
Yeah.
also knew if I was able to bring value to you that like you couldn't find anywhere else, that like I would be then indispensable to the team. So that was my goal and like kind of how things went.
Yeah. 100%, 100%. And one of the things that, I've always told you guys is that, you know, you guys are learning something that if you wanted to leave the company and go start your own thing, I don't see how it would be
Hard.
hard for you to build a multiple six-figure business, right? And I always tell you guys, because I'm like, guys, like you guys have an opportunity of a fucking lifetime. Because it's like everything that I'm doing, you guys are implementing the plan. So it's like you may not be running the client acquisition that IO as the whole company, but when it comes to acquisition, you guys are like the heart that makes the whole system work, right? At least when it comes to generating and converting attention, right? And I always tell you guys, like, you guys have an amazing opportunity here, but it all comes down to like how serious you take it, right?
Yeah.
And you've taken it serious, and you stuck to the grind for the last how many months you've been on the team now?
7 and like 3/4. I think it'll be 8.
All right. Yeah. So you've been on the team for 7, 8 months, and your progress has been crazy, right? As the company has scaled, so have you scaled as a person, right? And one of the thing that you mentioned, which is pretty sick, is that is like if you can figure out a way to get into a system that works, a company that is growing, and figure out the whole thing, then you kind of like inevitably build the thing. It's like you gain the experience that makes it unreasonable for you not to build something successful yourself if you ever wanted to, which is why I think that the growth specialist.io thing, it's like is going to be probably one of the best product out there for anyone who wants to guarantee their own success, whether that be earning money every month, good money every month, or building a foundation on which they can lay an amazing enterprise, right? So for me, that's the exciting thing about what I'm building right now. That's why I'm not in such a rush around building it, because it's like this is gonna create so many successful stories that not just about becoming a growth specialist, but like what comes after you're a growth specialist, because that's where things are going to be exciting, right? So yeah, if you want to talk about your progress, like how have since, let's say, your first month till this fucking month, like how have we can start with your depth of knowledge when it comes to finding leads, generating attention, and converting that attention into sales calls. Like maybe we can even look at the KPIs, and so you can actually share your story. I'll actually pull up the meeting book database so people can see it. But yeah, but talk about like your growth personally, like knowledge wise.
Yeah. So, well, when I first joined, I've got to say this as well. When you guys join and go through your 2-week trial, you have to like record your meetings that you booked. So take screenshots of the people that booked, right? Because this guy, when I was on the 2 week trial, at the end of it, he said I didn't make it. I had only 11 appointments booked. I took screenshots of every single appointment, and I was like, "Yo, what are
Yeah.
you talking about? I got 15 on the dot." So, anyways, the system it was all fixed now, but I'm just saying, I
Yeah.
barely scraped by. I barely scraped by. I only got 15, and that was the mark. So, I think I'm so thankful I got in because it would have just been a different story. Anyways, so I
Yeah.
started only being able to generate like 15 appointments. The next month or the first month full time, I think it was like 30 or something. And the qualified
Mhm.
appointment was like, it was only like, I think like two. I was like just trying to convert anyone and anyone. There wasn't any process. There wasn't any like intuition or sixth sense that I kind of have now of like
Yeah.
understanding conversation and where someone may be at. But yeah, the progression, it started picking up. And I think like the persistency and I was obsessed. I still am. Like, I get so obsessed with like the numbers, the conversations, and I'm very routine oriented. So like once I figure out a process and like understand the way something works, I can get very like efficient with it. So that's what like kind of
Yeah.
took place. And I kind of leaned on that, knowing that I had that kind of like ability and skill coming into this. So I knew it was going to be a learning curve at first, but then I knew like once I figured out and cracked the code, like it would be game over. So um, the first month, yeah, like I said, was like 30. I think you want to pull it up, the meetings.
Yeah, let's
That
pull it up. Yeah, I pulled it up. Yeah. Yeah,
it's
we have it
actually
here.
it's a very consistent I would say progression. So
Yeah. So you started in May. You booked 15 calls because I think you
that was
started
my
later in
trial.
the month. That was your trial. And then in June, you booked 48 meetings the following month, which is
Yeah.
pretty good. And then from June to July, you booked 54, which is pretty sick. And then 59 the following month. And in September, we were traveling, but you still hit 34. Then October, you booked 52 meetings. And then after that, you booked November 62. And then December went a little crazier, which you did 67 calls. Yeah, now
Currently,
this month you're at 53 calls. Chanel is going crazy. Jesus Christ.
yeah, she is. She is.
74 calls this month. Yeah. So like for me, one of the things that we like to talk about is because our industry is a little special, right? It's like there's a fine line between booking calls and just finding qualified people who actually can who have the pain point and the desire to solve their problems, right? And we've kind of even pivoted the compensation so it focuses more on like qualified appointments that show up. For those who don't know, the compensation structure is there are 4 tiers. The first tier, you get paid $100 per qualified appointments that shows up. The second tier is, I think, like $112. The third is 125, and then it goes to $150 per qualified appointment. By the way, was that a good compensation plan? Because I know that, and I want to talk about actual numbers, right? I want to talk about how your compensation has evolved over time. So people can see what it would look like for them if they become good. But like having the compensation be structured, because we've tried either a percentage of the deal or actually paying you based on the
This
thing
is
that you control, which is appointments.
this is probably like the best way to do it. I like it's motivating as hell for me, at least.
Yeah. I know it's
Um,
crazy, right? Because now you have a skill of finding people, booking them on a call, and then you know that for every single right now you're at tier 4, so you know that for every person that you book on a call, you make $150, right? Like you can on the average, how much money were you making at your old job, like
you're
per
getting
day?
into numbers.
Let's look at into the numbers because like let's actually position it
Mhm.
base compared to a traditional job, which is a 9 to 5. Let's say you're making $20 an hour, which is $20 an hour is actually pretty fucking good. At my last 9 to 5, I was probably making like $18 point some bullshit, right?
Mhm.
So I had to work to make $100. I had to work, like 5, 6 hours, right? 10 hours or 5, 7 hours, right? But right now, as a GS, you make a day worth of work by just achieving one outcome once a day,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So how has that motivated you in a way to know that you can control your earning potential?
It's exactly that. I can control it. So like I want it to be as big as possible every month.
Yeah.
And like my goal, like I have a standard now. It's like if I haven't hit less than tier 4 in the last 2 months. Like I've hit it consistently now for 2. This will be the third. I should hit it. Like it's yesterday
Yeah.
it went off. I went off. So it
Yeah.
should stack
Yesterday
up.
was crazy. Yesterday, how many meetings did you book?
I booked
Do you know?
8.
That's crazy.
But I have a
Yeah.
record of 13. I'm coming for
In a day?
Chanel. She did 17, so I'm coming for her. And that's the
Yeah.
other thing. The reason why the progression is there as well is like I will say the competitive nature of the growth specialist team, at least like it's not as competitive now because it's more dialed in, but like before
Yeah.
when the team was bigger, like holy, like I would get up in the morning and I'd see because they're on different time zones, right? So I'd see like
Yeah.
they already had appointments booked and I would be stressed. Like I was like, I need to like I remember you said like, how can you settle for one appointment? And I'm like, how can I? So I'd be like going absolutely nuts, like trying to just scrape
Yeah.
anything and anyone, right? So the competitive nature also is another thing. Like the bonus plans as well that you put out like are also like everything's. I think it's optimized so that if you're a motivated person and you want to get results and you want to like actually control your income, your time, and your life before you're this big business owner, like you're learning the foundation that Serge lives through because like he manages his time, his life in the way that he wants. So it's like if you go through this role and you're serious about it, you're able to learn the foundation and then move into, down the road if you want into a position that Serge is in. So
Yeah.
the competitive nature and all that stuff is just like it's an optimized position,
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Yeah. One thing I want to do with the growth specialist.io thing is that I'm going to be looking at who are the superstars in the program. And I'm going to just give them the same compensation to the ability to join cloud acquisition.io and actually help us. Because I don't mind, I can pay as many people who want to work, right? I don't mind giving you $150 per qualified appointments that you get me. I could do it 1,000 times a day if you want, right?
Yeah.
So what I want to do is, and that's why I don't want to make the product expensive. Like my goal is not to make much money from this $500 a month, because I think I'm going to price it at $500 a month of training.
Yeah.
The goal is not for me to collect, because I've seen a lot of people who are charging, building appointment setting offers like, hey, stop the 9 to 5, become an appointment setter. But it's like, my goal is not really to empty your bank account or to make you go in debt in order to give you the skills you need. My goal is, hey, get the skill and come help me on my mission. Let's build an amazing, let's scale it to the moon, right? And then eventually, of course, there's a bigger vision for it. But for now, I want that every superstar who's in the community and who is a GS, hey, if you want to make money, we've taught you how to do it. We'll taught you following the same framework we use for our own company, right? So if you want to be on the same comp plan as my team, let's do it. Let's add you to the team and let's see what you can do. So therefore, people will be coming in, and if they're good, if you're not good, I'm not going to have you do outreach and generate sales calls for my company. I won't do that. But if you're good, you're guaranteed to have a position in client acquisition.io, right? So talk about evolution of your compensation over the last 7 months, because I'm sure you remember it, right? So you want to talk about the growth.
Well, I mean, when I first joined, or before my 9 to 5, I was making like, I think it was $21 an hour. I think the math is like around, and it was honestly part-time kind of. It was like 6 hours a day. It wasn't even full-time. It was all dependent on the length of the job. But I think it was around just less than $1,200 a week, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense, right? So it's like around $2,200 a month. So first month with you, I forget. Let me see. Let me pull up my Stripe.
Pull up the Stripe. Pull up the Stripe ski. Do you want to pull up the Stripe? Let's actually pull up have I paid all the invoices on Stripe?
I have.
Yeah, pull up Stripe. Open Stripe on your computer.
Holy shit. Here we go. We're just all right, 1 second.
Let's show people the money, because people love to see the money.
Yeah, that's all I want to see. It can't take
Because
anyone to
for me,
win the
the
world.
bro, like, yeah, because for me, the magical thing for me is like, bro, like seeing you like progress. Because a lot of people don't understand that, like, if you can actually become the fucking best, you will actually get paid as the best to be
Yeah,
like as someone who's good, right?
100%.
So yeah, I think the numbers is only right if we show them.
I've actually haven't really done this before, but I mean,
You've never logged in
no, I have,
from
I
your
have.
Stripe,
I haven't done
from
like
your
the,
computer.
oh, last month I made this, and you know how people like show off their money.
Oh, you've never. Oh, okay, yeah. This is the
You gotta
first time
walk,
that.
Serge, you gotta walk me through. This is my first time.
Yeah. So yeah, just walk. You don't actually need to do anything. Just walk slowly over the line, like you see the
Gotcha,
from February,
gotcha.
like that line. Yeah.
Cool.
So June you made 1,300,
Yeah.
and then July you made 500. I don't know
Wait,
what happened.
I don't know what happened there either. I think I forget. Anyways, okay, 500.
Yeah,
And then
and then you went to
August,
4.3K.
which
What do
was
you think happened in August?
oh, I won the whole bonus. Remember you gave
Oh,
I think that
okay.
was
Yeah,
the
true.
trip.
Even the trip. Yeah. 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 No, love it. Yeah. And then the
Um
following month you did
28.
2.8. And then the following month you made 3K. And then the following month, November 5.4.
This is when it started to take off.
And
7.
then 7.3. And then January 8.5. So essentially in how many payments? In like 5 months you've gone from
Yeah.
2K to making almost 9 grand in a
One,
month.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. 8.
8.5.
So 8 months.
How did it feel making 8.5K in a month?
Pretty well, bro. Yeah. It's life changing. Like I think you were talking about it earlier. Like this is the best place to start because you like it makes it unreasonable for you to like not succeed in the future. So like it's at a point where I'm learning these skills. I have this acquisition skill like down.
Mhm.
It's like one of the first times in a long time. Like literally, I would say my confidence and like self belief has like gone up as this has gone up, right? So it's
Yeah.
like as I've proved that I can produce income, even though it's like
Mhm.
not my own business, it's like I'm in a vehicle that's allowing me to show off and like um develop and cultivate a skill. So it's like as I'm cultivating that skill with a leveraged opportunity, my belief is going up at the same time. So
Yeah.
uh I think like the money is like cool and everything. I've never really shared my income with everyone before, but like it's
Mhm.
more about honestly the skills I'm learning. So that's what I'm excited about. Like the money's amazing, but it's the skill, it's the journey, it's the work that took to get to this point. That's like the most
Yep.
meaningful part, I would say.
Because I think it's like 8.5K a month is 100K a year, right? And
Yeah,
most people will go through school. They'll go through school for like 5 years to be able to even earn that kind of money, right? And you're doing it, because I think like you could easily like do like 10K, 12K a month if you really wanted to, right? Because it's like at the end of the day, if you combine how much I'm paying XGS, you could generally just do the same output with three people combined, right? So it's like the money is there, the opportunity is there. It's all depending on like how committed are you, right?
I think that's a big determining factor, 100%.
Yeah. So yeah, the last few months has been crazy, and this is what I like to see. It's like as the company grows, so is the GS's compensation is as aligned to a company's growth as possible. Because let's say if we go from being a $500,000 a month company to becoming a, let's say, $3 million a month company, well, naturally
Yeah,
your performance is also gonna 6x if possible, right?
yeah.
So you have the potential to be earning 15, 20 grand a month. If you want to be just a GS, if you want to maybe get into sales, it's like, you have that opportunity. And that's why I think that this is probably the best role that anyone could be in, anyone who wants to control their time. Because also another thing maybe you can talk about is how you actually schedule your day. It's like, I don't necessarily ask you to work at a specific time. I don't really care what you do. I just care about numbers being hit, outcomes being achieved. You could either be working at 8 in the morning, 8 at night. I could really care less. All I care about is output every day. So talk about how this is different from maybe like the benefits of having such a job and being a growth specialist. Like, and share your schedule.
Yeah, totally. So that's the cool thing about this job that I was like so fired up about, is like the time freedom, the scheduling ability. Like, you can really build your schedule however you want, as long as you hit your KPIs, right? So what a usual day in my life would look like is I wake up around 5 a.m., hop in the shower, or at least this week started doing cold showers. So I want to maintain that because I feel so good after. I feel awake, feel ready to go.
Yeah.
After that, I go into just like a period for like half hour of like grounding, I call it, where I read. I journal, I write down my daily goal dump, I call it, where I just write down the affirmations, and then I put reasons as to why those affirmations actually make sense. And like, I back it up essentially. I don't just say like, oh, I'm going to make $100 million. I say like actual attainable things that uplift confidence. And then the reasons as to why it's true. And then after that, I read, journal, and then I honestly go right into work. I just go through the social media, your Instagram, and start looking at like the people, the attention, the burner, if we need a two-step, all that kind of stuff. And then I'll just go straight cold prospecting, hitting people up, trying to get attention, usually till around, so I'll start anywhere from like 6:30, and then I'll go till like 11, and then I'll grab breakfast. I should be eating earlier, but get back to like 11 and then come back. It's like managing conversations, so it's like very up in the air, but I just try to get my outreach done as fast as possible because that's the most tedious thing. And then follow-ups pretty simple, because you can just go through people you've already talked with. And then after those two things are done, then it's just managing conversations, and it's ensuring that I'm on there when people are applying, because then it's just like the booking process is a lot more smooth. So then after that, I go to the gym at like 3. That's the goal, to be at the gym at 3. And then after that, if I run errands, pick up food if I have to, come home, have dinner. And then by 6 or 7, I'm back doing work until 9, and then I go to bed. So like,
nice.
I would say it's a pretty like intensive schedule compared to what like a lot of people would want to do. Like a lot of people would want to be done at like 5, and then have the afternoon to, do whatever, YouTube, Netflix, whatever it may be. But I just like what's worked for me. And when, like you've always said as well, like figure out the habits and the routines that you were doing that brought you success. And so like when I started, this was the routine that was helping me like get consistent better every month. So I also don't really like wasting time watching movies and all that. Like I'm an entrepreneur. Like I have a long-term goal, and like I'm working at it every day, every chance I can. So it's like work in the morning, gym, dinner, work at night, go to sleep. Like that's my thing. I have my time on the weekend to chill out, hang with my girlfriend, her family, my family. That's my time to hang out. But during the week, it's like I just work. So you can schedule your life in this role however you want, right? Like you get the results, you get your outreach done, you get your follow-up done, and then you can have the afternoon if you want. But I just choose to do this.
100%. I think a lot of people will probably think that, oh, let me just become a GS so I can just chill out and schedule. I mean, it's like for sure you could probably like just wake up 10 a.m. and just go buy your day, go breakfast, go brunching, and then start work. But in my opinion, the best performing GSs are those who actually take their job seriously, right? It's not every GS on the team who earns $8 grand a month, right? It's like not everyone, but so those who do is because they actually take this shit seriously. And I always tell you guys that it's like, I don't care if I'm not on your neck every fucking hour of the day. It's like you should be on your neck every hour of the day. Because if I see you underperforming at some point, I'll just be like, hey, you're not on the same standard as everyone or as me. You're not inspiring me to become a better leader. So it's like, why would I keep you on the team? So it's like, I don't want people to think that this is just an easy job. It's not an easy responsibility. It is not. And if you understand that it's not easy, then it actually becomes easy. But for people who get in and thinking that, oh, this I'm about just to become a growth specialist, I'm gonna start, making $100 for every call that I book, then it's gonna be really fun. Then they'll actually be, hit in the face and they realize, oh my God, I didn't book a single call today. Why? Because when you woke up, it took you 5 hours to get to work.
Yeah.
How the hell do you expect to become good? Right? But you are disciplined, you have a set schedule. So it's like, of course, you're going to be a top producer. Yeah, one of the things that I'm going to be getting in the growth specialist that IO product is to get, you, Chanel, Zoma, I'm getting you guys to share your daily activities, right? Because I realize that not everybody or daily schedule, not everybody has a specific schedule, not everybody produces at the same time. So I want to get people to see what you guys do in your day to day so they can actually pick and choose what works for them or what doesn't, right? Because at the end of the day, this is not, something that maybe you guys are learning is that this program is actually going to be built with the help of my growth specialist, because I realized that like I'm not in the best position to like give everybody the things that they need. Because I realized that like for me, the most valuable thing was surrounding myself with entrepreneurs who are doing the activities that I need to be doing to achieve a certain level of success. It's for sure great for me to learn from Bezos, but if I can't find someone that is at a little bit near my level, I'm not necessarily going to grow as fast. But if I can get someone near someone who's earning maybe twice as much as I am, then I can look at his daily activities and be like, oh, wow, this person is focused on leverage activities. He's building marketing assets. He's going on Twitter. He's leveraging 2 steps. And then he's doing it at this time of the day. And then after that, he's generating attention and then using that attention to go and convert that attention. And then here's how he's doing follow-ups. Or maybe you're starting with your follow-ups, right? So it's like, I want people to be able to look at what you guys are producing and be able to learn from you guys directly, instead of having it be like a type of program where it's about the leader who hasn't done the thing he's teaching in like 3 years. You know what I mean? Because of course, I know everything, the principles and everything about being a growth specialist, but the day to day, not so much, because I'm not doing it every day. I don't know the intricacies that make someone really good, right? So I'm excited, Isaiah, Chanel, they're all building training materials in the program. So you guys are going to be able to get to be surrounded by them. I'm going to get you guys also to host like one call per day or every other day. So, if you want to be coached by Isaiah, he'll coach you. If you want to be coached by someone else on the team on a specific channel, they'll do it. So it's going to be an amazing community where you're trained by actual producers and not not just someone who's just built a weird service and program about things they're not doing. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. What are some of your goals?
Oh boy.
This year?
Well, I'm coming for 6 figures this year.
Let's go.
Yeah. I've proven to myself that I can. So like I kind of expect it. It's my standard now per month. So that's what I'm coming for. I want to just learn everything I can. Like I watch you, bro. I'm watching what you're doing, how you doing stuff, the different types of like content, how you speak, everything. So like I want to eventually get to the point where I can build on the side as well. Like I want to be with you long term. So that's a goal of mine. And then on the side, having something that's valuable in the marketplace as well. But yeah, ultimately I just want to like continue to master this skill, because I also want to say one thing in the sense where you were talking about like you shouldn't hop in this opportunity and just think it's easy. this is like the one time in my life where, or not one time, I would say second time where I've been like consistent for longer than a month. And this is when the results actually came. So like
Mm.
previously soccer, it was years. That's when results came. And I was actually like a top level player. Then afterwards, I tried drop shipping as I expressed. It was for like inconsistent a month and nothing happened. I was like, oh, why didn't it work? And then this came, and then I tried social, like my own agency. It didn't work because I was inconsistent for like 2, 3 months. Then finally, I
Yeah.
joined this opportunity, and it was the first time in a while that I was consistent with learning a skill for longer than 3 months, even. And that's when the results finally came. So, like, you have to
Yep.
understand that there is iterations and levels, and like I said earlier, realizations that you have to come through in your progression to get to even this point. So consistency is the key. Like, I'm a living testament to this now, where I'm realizing, like, okay, for anything in the future, like it has to be more than 3 months. Like, if I just go for a month, like, there's no point in even saying I tried, because you
Mm-hmm.
haven't done it long enough to realize um, like the little intricacies that you wouldn't even know of. Like, for now, I can look
Yeah.
at a certain profile when I'm prospecting. I'd be like, I can literally tell if they're running an agency or not, because like I just have that sixth sense now, right? That you wouldn't
Yeah.
have if you just joined, which is why I'm able to produce more, because I have just better skill set now, and I'm not where I want
Yeah.
to be. There's so much more that I want to become. Like, I've heard of George Nita, I think I'll say his name. I don't know if I should have, but in the program,
Yeah. That's good.
I've heard of him and the results he made for his previous consulting offer doing appointment setting, and it's bonkers. So it's like I'm nowhere near where I want to
Yeah.
be, but I've realized in the little amount of success that I've had, for my confidence and just for me, is like it took consistency. It's taken longer than 6 months, and like you have to be able to stick with it. And if you come in thinking it's going to be a month, then we can't help you.
It ain't
But
for you. Yeah, we
yeah,
can help you.
so
Yeah, that's why I decided to make the program 6 months. Because
okay.
earlier today I was just thinking like, oh, should it be 3 months? Should it be 6 months?
Yeah,
I was like, there's nothing great that got built in 3 months.
exactly.
And everybody here will have the choice to, you can stick around or you can just quit.
Yeah,
But if you're the type of person who just wants to go in and like for a month, it's like, then this is not for you. Because it's not about, and this is where I want to see, because this is the reason why I wanted to put it in, an affordable price, is because I don't actually care about money. I care about finding talent. All right.
yeah,
And the talented people will stick regardless if it's $500 a month, regardless if it's free. The right people stick around, because you didn't earn a lot of more money in the first few months, and a lot of people will see it and be like, oh, but he didn't start making 10 grand a month in month two. But it's like, that's what makes you good too. You know what I mean? It's like, if something was that easily achievable, then it wouldn't actually be valuable.
yeah.
If you know what I mean. It's like, the easier it is to access an outcome, the less valuable it is. So that's why growth specialists are going to become such a valuable asset for a lot of companies, right? So, I have you, Zoma, Chanel, and we're doing $500,000 a month. It's like, that's ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous. So it's like, if we can go to any company and be like, hey, I'm a growth specialist. I've learned everything that we're doing here at client acquisition.io when it comes to generating attention, converting that attention into sales calls. It's like, I know 5, 10 companies who are doing 6 figures a month who would pay 50 grand, even 100 grand for us to build their growth team. Right. So it's like, but you can't go around saying that you're a growth specialist if you didn't even stick through for 6 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look at your growth, it's like, it took 6 months for you to be fucking good. Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But, what's 6 months if you can start earning 6 figures in 6 months? It's like, it's amazing. It's an amazing outcome. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it's really good. It's really good. Yeah. I don't know if you had any, questions for me or anything you wanted to mention. Um,
Nothing really specific. No, all good.
yeah. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. For
Or
everyone who's interested.
maybe
Yeah.
this, the five
What?
hundred dollars a month. That if you guys are getting, because there's already gonna be people complaining, oh, it's 500. the value you're gonna get $500 a month, like the access you get, the training and everything. Like there's a lot more to appointment setting than just like the daily workflow. There's like psychology of conversations and all that kind of stuff, which is also included in the deep dive training, all that kind of stuff. So like, it's an opportunity to for guys. Don't start.
Don't worry.
Holy.
I'm gonna show them what we're building. I think a lot of people, just like we did with the $500,000 program, by building probably one of the best program out there, is the way that I want to also build this one. It's like I want to give away so much stuff that like people generally like are gonna feel dumb not paying. Right? Yeah. If you're broke right now and you can't get your hands on $500 a month, then you're just not deserving. You just should go to bed and just tell your mom to take care of you, or your grandmother, or the government. But it's going to be probably the best thing. And you guys are going to start seeing Isaiah's content, because Isaiah, you were pushing on content or short form content for Clown Acquisition.io, right? So if you guys want, go follow Clown Growth Specialist. Let me actually show you guys the Instagram page, because we're going to be going crazy with short form content. And
I'm going to be posting on mine as well, and on there, just trying to find people and talent everywhere and anywhere.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty sick. Go to growthspecialist.io. It's this page here, and just follow it. And you guys are going to start seeing content. You guys are going to start seeing what results. And the most important community thing about this thing, though, is the community aspect of things. The way that I want to do it is I want to create more of like a social club for it, right? Meaning you wake up, you share your fucking goals. And then at the end of the day, you share your fucking wins. And then, if you're having, issues, or if you're building a banger marketing asset, you share it with the whole community. So people can give you feedback, people can engage with it. So it's like, we're going to be helping people not just become skilled, but we're also going to provide them the help to get their assets and their marketing assets and their effort have more reach, right? Because the bigger the community, the bigger the engagement, and the bigger the engagement, the more reach. So it's like, it's going to be an amazing community. Right now, I'm trying to figuring out a way to structure everything so that the community is something that everyone does not want to leave ever. And if you're part of the community, then, you are a growth specialist. You are one of us, right? And I think this is going to be probably the best thing that I can create. And, probably even I think it's going to have more impact than the main program that we have right now, because I think I can help a lot more. We can help a lot more people achieve a certain level of a certain lifestyle that you can't really achieve through the normal route of school, jobs, and things like that, right? I'm really excited for it. We're going to be launching it in the next week or two, right? I'll probably add the wait list below so you guys can sign up for the wait list and be part of the first few people that we're going to let in. We're not going to let everybody in at the same time. We're going to do a beta to start with for the growthspecialist.io. And then once we're fully clear of the fulfillment and everything is dialed in, then we're actually going to open it to the public. And another thing is, I don't want to have like sales calls for this thing. It's generally going to be like, hey, you want to join? You join. Like if you need someone to sell you on a $500 training, then you probably it's not needed. Like, it's $500 a month. I know I'm not saying that it's not a lot of money. It may be a lot of money for certain people, but please don't expect a sales call and someone having to like push you to make a better decision to improve your life. Like just make it yourself, right? You're probably grown up. You're a grown up, so you probably know what you need to do with your life. But look out for the next few days. I'm going to be posting more stuff on my Instagram and the growthspecialist.io page. But if you guys get to join the program, you guys are going to meet Isaiah, and he's a superstar. He's going to get to show you guys a lot of things. And what I want to do is I want people to be able to access like what we're doing day to day. You guys, we're going to share the wins, how we're booking calls, So you guys can actually be seeing directly like what's actually helping our company grow when it comes to being a growth specialist, generating attention and converting attention into sales calls. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Isaiah, thank you so much for jumping on a call with me. And yeah, let's
Thanks
get
for
to it.
having me. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hey, thank you for watching my video. One thing that I want to ask you is please like, comment, subscribe, and share it with the people in your circle, people who can find this content helpful. And before you actually leave, I have a 5 days to 50K a month program with the right offers, the right mindset, decision-making, training, everything you need when it comes to scaling an agency, high-ticket coaching or consulting business past 50K per month, from the client acquisition systems to how to actually scale and sustain scale. If you want to access it, click the link below. Yeah, find it helpful.